So we did just get some breaking news at UFC 294. Charles Oliveira is out of his contest with Islam Makhachev. And guys, guess who's come up to the plate at the very last second? That's right, Alexander Volkanovski will be facing Islam Makhachev for the lightweight championship of the world in just under 2 weeks' time. I absolutely love this contest. I don't particularly like that it's a short notice fight because it bakes in a lot of excuses for Alexander Volkanovski. Obviously, if he loses, and Islam Makhachev can be falling into the line saying, look, I didn't prepare for Volkanovski or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, still a very exciting fight. Their first fight took place at UFC 284 in Perth, Australia, and I was at that event. It was absolutely incredible. As you know, Islam Makhachev did edge out a decision victory in what was a very close contested contest. Now, within that fight, there was a lot of controversy, and as we know, being in Australia, the crowd was a little bit biased, and they booed Islam Makhachev quite heavily, and they thought that Alexander Volkanovski did win that fight. But when you do watch that fight back that they originally had, you'll notice that Islam Makhachev did with that contest 3 rounds to 2, in my opinion. Obviously, the Australian crowd there did a fantastic job at swaying a lot of people's opinions on who won this fight. But I think it's going to be very hard for Volkanovski coming up to lightweight on such short notice. But he's a big, stocky guy. Naturally, obviously, he's a little bit shorter, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for him. He's a champion. As we know, Alexander Volkanovski recently, after his contest against Yair Rodriguez, which he got the victory there in a very impressive performance, did have surgery on his arm, but he's had time to recover from that. And he was scheduled to take a fight in a couple of months' time now in the featherweight division, but he's seen this opportunity and he's jumped on it. You know, he wants redemption. I wish him all the luck in the world. I'm going to be rooting for Volkanovski in this one. Who do you guys actually think is going to win this contest? I mean, my early predictions for this fight is Islam Makhachev via decision yet again. I just think Alexander Volkanovski is a very hard guy to put away. And I think it's going to be pretty hard for Islam to put away Volkanovski because, as we seen last time, Alexander Volkanovski does have fantastic wrestling defense and his BJJ coach is Craig Jones. And as we all know, Sambo just doesn't work. You know, all you have to do is just stand up, as Craig Jones would say. But all jokes aside, it is going to be a fantastic contest. I think Islam Makhachev is going to edge the victory here again, unfortunately. But I'm definitely not going to be counting Alexander Volkanovski out. As we've seen at the end of the 5th round last time, he does have the ability to drop Islam Makhachev. And I think Alexander Volkanovski's best chance for victory here is for it to go another 5 rounds, you know, because he definitely has the gas tank. And as we've seen within that fight, Islam Makhachev did tend to tire towards the end of it. Now, arguably, the weight cut was very difficult on him, so that might have had something to do with it. But regardless, I think Alexander Volkanovski needs to take this one the distance. So my prediction is Islam, but I wouldn't be surprised if Alexander Volkanovski does get the victory here. But what do you guys all think of this contest? It's very disappointing that Charles Oliveira is no longer going to be competing here, especially his last performance against Beneil Dariush. So maybe he'll be facing the winner of this fight in a few months' time, because he did disclose an injury a couple of months ago and said that he might not be able to take this fight. And, you know, it turns out that that's actually come to fruition, unfortunately. And on this card as well, obviously, Paulo Costa versus Khamzat Chimaev. It was revealed only a few days ago that obviously Paulo Costa had some surgery on his elbow, I believe. So I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out either. Maybe he won't, but who knows? But this card is looking absolutely fantastic as it stands right now. I think this is a fantastic replacement. But if Paulo Costa pulls out, that'll be pretty disappointing. I'm not too sure who'd be willing to step in and face Khamzat Chimaev at this event, being that the guy's an absolute world beater. But that's it from me today, everyone. Take care.